figure this out. You better be able to figure out your social media strategy. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And you have to look at your social media as if you don't know anything about your business. You have to look at how am I promoting myself, my business, my opportunity? Am I addressing pain points? Am I addressing ambitions? What is it? Pain and ambition. Remember that, those two things. People's pain, you're going to help them get out of pain. And number two, you're going to help people go to ambitions. Now, let me tell you the difference. A lot of people just want to get out of pain. The ambitious ones, which are very rare, are the people who are looking for a better life. And oftentimes they're people who have come from a level of success that's changed and they want to go backwards. They want to get back to that level or go beyond that level. So let's talk about how do you create engaging posts? Well, if you don't know how to create an engaging post, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. First and foremost, there's a guy out there by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he talks about this. He talks about a strategy where you can go jab, 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 right hook. Well, what does he mean by that? You add value, you add value, you add value, and then you come with the pitch. You see what I mean? Value, value, value. If you're just pitching all the time, people tune out of you. If you're just singing about the praises of your company, people tune out. But if you're offering value and value and value, I'll give you an example. So you can check out my own companies. By the way, I'm going to give some listings here to some projects that I'm involved with, some companies that I'm involved with that I own and operate and work, so that you can get an idea to study how to do your business. And I'm also going to refer to these people. Gary Vaynerchuk is one of the guys out there that I look at. Tai Lopez is another guy that I look at. Frank Kern is someone I look at. Brendan Burchard is something I look at. Krista, I know she loves Tanya Eliza. These are people who are using social posts or social media to make money. But number one, engaging posts. So you can go on my Facebook page the other day, Wade Lightheart, just Wade Lightheart on that post. And you'll see I put out a post called Digital Drug Dealers. Digital drug dealers, Tai Lopez, Kim Kardashian, and Donald Trump. So let me break that post down for you. What I'm doing is I'm leveraging people who are in the news. I'm leveraging famous people, well-known people, people who are successful. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. They're in the news. So I'm creating an association. So are you creating an association? So for example, you can report on what Oprah Winfrey said about something. You can report about what the New York Times said, or what USA Today said, or what Fox News said, or CNN, if you're that thing. Like, you can use these media channels to provide value and insight. You can leverage various people. Famous people. You can leverage situations that are going on in the world. Okay, so that's one way to attract attention to yourself. So one, and the more you get at this, the more controversial you'll get the headlines. Now, in order to handle that, you're going to get some hate. You're going to get some people that are going to misunderstand you. There are going to be some people that are probably going to delete you and get you off your Facebook posts. That's a good thing. Recognize this. You have two options in social media. You can be a consumer of social media, or you can be a creator of social media. Let me share you. If you are a consumer of social media, you will go into the negative because it's consumption based. In other words, you're spending resources, namely your time, on consuming other people's information. It's consumption. It's like spending money at the store because your most precious commodity is your time. Or you can be a producer of value in social media, okay? And that means you're putting something out there that people know, people love, people can appreciate, people can benefit from. And by the way, you're going to give them an offer if they want to join your organization, your business, your opportunity. And they're going to join that based on that's going to move them out of pain or speak to their ambition. Another thing that you can do on social media, one of the things that I do is you ask open-ended questions. I have a friend named Mark Joyner. Check him out on Facebook. And he has a really interesting thing. He's in the health and wellness field and biohacking optimization. And he actually creates these engaging posts, these questions, and he tags a bunch of industry experts from various backgrounds to engage on his post. Now, there's very powerful about what he's doing there because number one, he's inviting expert opinions on a particular topic and he tags them. Number two, he's associated now with these expert opinions, so that adds to his credibility. And number three, he often gets a debate on his channel of a variety of people coming in and out by posing these questions that caused an integrate discussion. That's powerful. That gets a lot of likes. It gets a lot of engagement, and that is good for your social media. Another thing, just so you know, when you post something on Facebook, let's say you have 1,000 people in your Facebook page, maximum 70 to 100 people are going to see that post. So if you want to create value, you've got to post probably somewhere between 10 and 15 times before everybody is going to have an opportunity to see your post. And that post needs to be engaging enough that those people are going to access it. So when you make a post, not everybody sees it. Okay, so open-ended questions, engaging posts. Okay. Now, the other thing is you're going to have to go to private messaging is probably the easiest way, because if you're trying to drive people to, let's say you're a Nagic website, let's say you're trying to drive them to another one of your websites, that's going to alter the algorithm. People don't want to come off Facebook and go to another medium. So sometimes building up a following is probably fastest on Instagram. Facebook is probably more profitable, and ultimately YouTube is the highest value because people are actually searching for a solution in YouTube. Facebook, though, is probably the one people use the most, so you want to get and start using that. So asking questions inside of that. Now, when I talk about private messaging, if you have an offer, if you have an opportunity, do you want to drive people to private messaging? So, for example, I'm going to share with you right now, right? So here's the deal. If you guys are interested in learning how to make money from social media, here's what I want you to do. Simply, if you're serious and you can allot at least, a couple $100 a month towards this, just email me at wadelightheart@gmail.com or private message me on Facebook. So if I'm doing a Facebook pitch, private message me on Facebook. Because even if I put an email up there, sometimes that'll mess up the algorithms, things like that. So these are ways that you can do. The other thing is you can reach out directly to your contacts. And I think this is a very underutilized program. And let me explain how you can do that through private messaging. Okay, so you got 1,000 people on your list. You probably are friends with maybe 100, 150 that you have an ongoing relationship with. And maybe 50 are people that you had a relationship with, but for whatever reason, you moved away. You don't see each other very much. Someone got married. I don't know, whatever. They're not out there. So what you want to do is you want to make a list of your top contacts. And you want to reach out to them and just use classic direct sales models. Hey, Bob, it's been a long time. What are you up to these days? Find out what the pain is, find out what the ambition is, and see if your opportunity is a fit. Open-ended. Maybe you're going to meet up for coffee. Maybe you're going to do a Skype interview. By the way, you can reach out to about 10 people privately a day and be okay. I think the number is actually 20, but just do 10. Believe me, if you reached out and did 10 regularly that you're hitting out, and you got 1,000 people on the list, you got a lot of traffic that you can go there and you can drive them to your system. Okay. So private messaging people is very powerful. Another way to do it is you come in complimentary. So when somebody is, in your business and you want to post to that, or in your Facebook, and you see them making a post, go in there and make a nice comment on their post. Do this 2, 3, 4 times before you reach out to them. And then you reach out to them and say, hey, Mary, this obviously needs to be truthful. Mary, I noticed you're putting a lot of really cool posts on social media. Just out of curiosity, are you making money on social media, or is this just an idea? And the reason why I'm asking is because I'm seeing that you're very good on social media and you're doing a lot, you're giving a lot of value. I have an opportunity that might fit with this. Like, I could show you how to profit from your social media. Simple as that. You may wait on that second part of the equation to they respond, or you might go right after it right away, depending on how busy they are. Okay. Next thing, it's a thing called content marketing. And I touched on this earlier, but basically it's taking your business and thinking it as a content machine by creating value, particularly around the area that you want to get involved with. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I run a site called The Wealthy Backpacker. And I'm going to put this in the site, thewealthybackpacker.com. And what we do is we teach people how to build a recurring monthly income using the latest affiliate technology and social media promotions and a variety of different promotionary materials. And inside The Wealthy Backpacker, we talk about the new world economy. There's a book that comes with it. We have a back-end site. We interview top experts, everybody that puts together trust, people who build online businesses, people who have been successful in affiliates, people who have been. So we create this whole value-based system in The Wealthy Backpacker that allows people to systematically learn an online business and then share that with 3 people, and they get their education paid for. So number one, we have a team of analysts, we have a team of interviewers, we have a team of customer servicing that does this for people. If you want to find out more, check it out or private message me. And so you can start learning the social media game. The bottom line is, if you're going to get successful in social media, you need to get some mentors right away, and you need to find a mentor that you like, learn their courses, and start doing it. And we have that in The Wealthy Backpacker for this. It's not in the nature of the Prosperity and Health Alliance, but we are moving more towards it because of the nature of the world today. When I started out in Enagic, I didn't have any social media. I don't even think social media existed, really. There was MySpace maybe. And then now I do the bulk of my business now online as opposed to offline. So you can do that too. It's great. It's scalable, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. And it's going to take some money. And most importantly, it's going to take some expertise as well as a technologically built system. That's why I'm recommending or suggesting that you get involved in a system that you have content marketing. So in The Wealthy Backpacker, we create content marketing for our group ourselves. We actually generate the content for people that you can share on your media, because you need to make your media interesting. You need to make it relevant for the people that you're targeting. So for example, you may get a lot of traction out of posting cat videos, right? Cat videos. You get like 4.9 million people by posting a cute cat video. But is that cat video, is a person who watches cat videos on Facebook, is that the person that is going to get involved in your business? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get involved. The question is, who is your target? What are you trying to message? And recognizing that when you're on social media, you cannot appeal, your messaging cannot appeal to everybody. If it appeals to everybody, it appeals to no one. Remember, your messaging needs to be relative to the people who are in pain or who have an ambition. That's all what it's about. So can you offer value in those 2 areas? So you can check out Bioptimizers, for example. So that company is a nutrition company I have. All right. I'll put that in there for those of you who don't know. Bioptimizers.com. You can go to that website. Now, one of the things that I offer on that website is we have a 12-week course where people get involved and they can start learning everything that I learned about health. I got 5 to 15-minute videos. It's a whole platform and people get it. And then we have regular social media posts that drive people to information web pages, also to sales web pages. And then each and every month we have a webinar that we do. And each and every month we do a podcast where I interview a world-class expert on a particular topic that may be of interest, because the people who are interested in improving their health. So you see there's an overriding strategy. Now, people who are interested in making money might not be interested in that site. They might not be interested in the health site. So that they might be more interested in the Wealthy Backpacker, or they might be more interested in the Prosperity and Health Alliance. So in the Prosperity and Health Alliance, you see, I'm paid as an Enagic distributor to train people. Basically, I created a system that I could train anybody in Enagic worldwide as my contribution to the company, because as a -3 distributor, I get a percentage of global sales in combination with my own sales. In other words, so I'm out there to advocate a message of Enagic, how to build a business, how to be successful. And that's why we created the Prosperity and Health Alliance. It's free. It's accessible by everybody in Enagic. And there's no connection to it. Now, if you enter into the Wealthy Backpacker, that's different. That means there is a more specific training. There's more value involved. There's more money involved. So therefore, it's specific to that area, and we charge for that. Do you see the difference? There needs to also be tiers of separation in your idea. But again, content. Are you creating value? So if you look at the Prosperity and Health Alliance, we've had over 100 videos of value that's providing education. Myself, Creel, Siha jumps in every now and then. And we do this so that you can have value and that you can apply what we teach in your business. And the other thing is we leverage our time. So for example, if I do an hour ad campaign or an hour thing, and this is relative to you in Facebook. So I'm teaching you this so that you can apply it to your Facebook. If you're adding a value post every week, let's say, like we do in the Prosperity and Health Alliance. So for every hour, and if you get 10 watches on that, that's 10 hours of information. If you get 100, that's 100 hours. We've got some videos that's got tens of thousands of people who have watched that video, which means tens of thousands of hours that we've put out there just by producing that 1 hour of content. So let's go to a traction that you want to do. How do you get traction in your social media? Well, you're going to do, let's say, a value-based post once a week. Going back to the Gary Vaynerchuk program, jab, 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 right hook. You're going to put a value-based week number 1, a value-based week number 2, a value-based week number 3. And then week number 4, you're going to have an offer or an opportunity to come to your business, whether you're driving that to a direct page. If it is, it needs to be on Facebook somehow. Or you're going to send them to, hey, private message me, and let's talk about that. Believe me, this is the way that you become successful, that you don't burn out the goodwill in your list, and that you find the people who your product, your service, your business opportunity actually fits. There's one more thing I want to talk about, a couple more things actually, and that is boosted posts. So you'll see, now don't use boosted posts unless you have somewhere to send them to. Unless you have somewhere to send people to, do not boost your posts, because you're just boosting the post to get like dopamine hits in your brain by how many people have seen your post or seen your video or whatever. So how you do this is, if you have a place to send people to an offer, a specific offer on your business, and that'll be on a web page and stuff. And if you want more about that, go to thewealthybackpacker.com. We get into the semantics of how you structure that. We actually build a squeeze page. It's called a squeeze page or a landing page for you on that. That's automatic inside the system, and you can see how that works. You need to have something like that in order to boost the post. If you have something like that, let's say, and here's my strategy around boosting posts. If I get a post, like, because I turn out some posts that get a lot of traction and some posts that don't get a lot of traction. So if I get a lot of traction on a post, I might take $20, $25 and boost the post to 12, 15, 20,000 people that fit the profile that Facebook algorithm has come out by the people who are responsive to that. because that's opening up my sphere to a bunch of people who this ad or this value-based post might go out to, and that can establish me as a professional in that person's group. And if I do that consistently and regularly, I'm going to get some new people that are going to join my opportunity at some point down the road. Keep in mind, people need 12 to 15 touches with you before they're in a position to buy. So if you're running a post a week, that means it's going to take you somewhere between 3 and 6 months to really get legitimate traction in your value-based posts. Okay? You got that? Okay. And if this is all confusing, that's because it's your first time at that, and you need to get on one of our sites to find out about the social media. That's why I said the wealthy background. So finally, and the final piece is paid advertising. So what is paid advertising on social media? Well, paid advertising is when you go into your, you start an ad campaign on Facebook, and you go through a specific set of rules and regulations on how to go about doing that. Then what happens is you create a page, and then you purchase exposure to people of a certain demographic. So you can say, I want to appeal to people from 35 years old to 55 years old who are in a relationship and looking for a business opportunity. They have an income of $75,000 to $125,000. And, you know, you can be as specific as possible, and they live in, you know, Canada or the United States, or they live in a certain area. And then you target that, and then you generate an ad, and that ad either has a picture, a video, and some sales copy under it. And sales copy, so for those who don't know what copy is, that is the written part that tells your story or tells why your product or your service or what you're doing is something that's going to be of value to people. And from that, you generate and convert people to an opportunity. They see that, they maybe go to a workshop or to a webinar. That webinar will explain your process. Oftentimes that's either a live or an automated webinar. I do both. And if they like what they see, they're brought into a low cost entry point. That's called the entry point funnel. So you go from free to small commitment to large commitment. And I do this in Enagic, and it's been very successful for us. Really, really, really successful. And a lot of people are wondering, what am I doing? Want to find out more? Just private message me. I'll tell you all about it. And that is for people who want to know about social media, and they're willing to spend the time, the energy, and the money. I don't teach that in specific unless you have the money in order to do that. And the reason, I'm not trying to discount people, but I'm going to share with you, if you're going to get involved in a social media and a long-term advertising campaign where you are going to spend money to go after new leads and new people, you need to be able to commit to that budget for the next 6-12 months at least, in order that you can test enough different things that you finally get traction. There's no guarantees when you do that. So it's a more expensive way, shall I say, to grow your business, but it's also a more effective way. And once you get something that actually produces, you can scale it up without chasing after your friends and family and warm markets and, you know, cold calling or whatever, networking or all these other methodologies that's used inside our industry. So I love paid advertising. It is a time investment. It is a monetary investment, and it's an education investment in round of that. And in order to be successful, you need that. You need mentorship. You need sites. So optimally, you get a mostly done-for-you system to enter, so you can just start spending the money on the ad campaigns. Otherwise, it's a very slow process. So if you want more information, private message me, email me, wadeleiter@gmail, or yeah, those are the two ways. So private message me on Facebook or whatever. So that's what I wanted to share. That's how I do that. I convert those leads into first a small offer. The small offer then takes them to a more elaborate presentation. Then at the elaborate presentation, I schedule a direct one-on-one sales call with that particular person. I find out what their desires and ambitions are. I want to see if their expectations are correct. I find out if they have the money for the project. And then if all of those boxes are checked and they've got the time, the effort, the energy, and the money to do that, then I say, okay, I can teach you this system and I can show you how to make a multiple six-figure income a year if you're willing to do X, Y, Z. But it's not for everybody. And I'm very clear about that in those calls and when I share that with people. And I think one of the big checkouts in social media is be upfront. Let people know what's the standards to work with you, and you'll be surprised how well that works. And I've been doing that. And right now, I have hardly any space to take on new clients or new students. And why is that? Because I'm already having people who are coming to me all the time. And if you follow the strategies that we talk about, that can happen to you as well. And so that's a little bit on social media. So just to recap today's session, that is, so social media, you want to have engaging posts using headlines, public events, public personalities. Don't be afraid to be a little controversial. You can ask open-ended questions or particular questions to people. You can reach out to people through private messaging or direct people from your post to private message to find more about that. You're addressing either a pain point or an ambition point. You're looking at creating lots of content. So 3 pieces of value before you do a pitch. Jab, 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 right hook. That's Gary Vaynerchuk. Boosted postings if you have a landing page, a place to take people, a sales funnel page to go through. And ultimately, paid advertising is the way to go if you want to invest the time, the energy, and the money. The time to learn what it is that you have to do from the expert, the energy to spend into doing that, and the resources to pay for your campaign. And that takes oftentimes money. So money and time are your 2, shall we say, energetic resources that you have leveraged to. So if people are interested in that, like I said, private messaging, I'll see if you're qualified for the program. I got a couple spots left, but I can't, and don't be surprised if I discount you. It's only for the serious because it's people who are committed to making a multiple 6-figure income a year. And a lot of people think they're committed to those things, but when it really comes down to it, they're not. If you want to get paid like the elite in the world, you have to work and learn like the elite in the world. And that might sound harsh, but the reality is in today's, here's my political statement of the day. In today's world where everybody gets a trophy for participating and we're trying to create everybody gets along and all this, that's all well and fine, but it just doesn't work in the real world, and it certainly doesn't work in business. And I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt and tell you something that isn't true. So I might take some flack for that, but that's okay, because I'm here to educate you. I'm here to inspire you. And I'm here to entertain you as well. But the most important thing is I know this. The Enagic business is a phenomenal business. We have points of sales, service, and distribution all around the planet with a 40-plus-year-old company that sells a device that transforms toxin-laden water that is being distributed around the world into the world's healthiest substance that creates unlimited electrical antioxidants, that creates disinfectant to eliminate the chemicals in the thing, and a product that will remove oil-based chemicals, including herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides from your food. It's something that everybody in your family can benefit from. It's good for you. It's good for the environment. It's good for the economy. And the tax incentives alone of owning and operating your own business with this model more than pay for the cost of the machine. That's what we offer. Now, if you want to marry that to a social media system that allows you to build an outstanding business, leveraging paid advertising and content marketing creation, well, that's a whole other level. That's the level that gets you into the 200, the 300, the 400, the $500,000, the seven-figure incomes. And the best people on the planet, that's what you're going to do. That's what you can do. But you better be ready to play at that level, to work at that level, to get it educated at that level, and to go through the learning curve that you can go through that in order for you to produce those results. If you're willing to do that, that's great. Make sure you message me. I'll be glad to hear about it. If you just got some value out of this for your social media strategy, you can start that today. That will start transforming, how you present your opportunity, how you present Enagic inside the business. Value, 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 opportunity, value, 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 opportunity, and then use the private messaging strategy, particularly with people who are engaging. So engage in their posts 2 or 3 times before you connect with them. That way you're not cold calling them out of the blue. So with that, I'm going to close up the recording side of this. And I want to thank you for joining us today, and look forward to hear from you each and every week. I believe next week, Krill Hutchinson will be doing this particular event. I'm excited for him. He's always a wealth of knowledge, so be sure to tune in on that each and every week. Prosperity and Health Alliance. Thanks so much.